Let's continue with the second international law relevant in this Iranian strikes, the U.S. and Israel. It's called the New York Convention in 1973. And important information is that both the U.S. and Israel are the signing participation party in the convention. The law is actually simple. Actually, it's not a. It's too simple. If you will, it basically says that if a head of a state, especially sitting head of state, is visiting another country, and that country has the obligation to protect his life and safety. Okay. So I can't, when I'm reading this, I can't stop thinking of Deng Xiaoping, because, Deng Xiaoping visited the U.S. like in 1979. 10 years later, we had like a June 4th Tiananmen Square massacres, killing, believed, hundreds of thousands people with no unarmed citizens, civilians. Okay. So I was wondering if, let's just pretending that we flip the order. Let's say that Deng Xiaoping opened the fire, ordered the Chinese army to open the fire on the civilians in 1979. And then in 1989, he is visiting America. And then still, according to New York Convention, America still has a duty and obligation to protect his life, to protect his safety. Why? Because guys like Deng Xiaoping is a protected person, okay? Internationally protected person. That's according to the convention, New York Convention. Basically, the idea is like it's a more civilization, more civilized, less barbarian. I think a lot of countries, they did not, intentionally or unintentionally, their act has been barbarian because they did not leave any space for negotiation, for talks, for bargaining, because once you killed the leaders, sitting head of state, or any diplomat, foreign ministers or secretary of state in the U.S. case, if they are visiting there, so I'm sure that, let's say that, like I said, the reason I use this example is that if Deng Xiaoping opened the fire, killed hundreds of millions or thousands of Chinese in Tiananmen Square, 1979, and when he visited in 1989, I'm sure that a lot of people really want to kill this motherfucker, So, but under New York Convention, no, it's not. You have to prevent that from happening. If that happens, it's punishable. Okay. Of course, that when it comes to international laws, enforcement is a big issue, right? But look at Netanyahu. He was scared by the international court orders, and he was like he had to, bypass a few countries, because he likes his life, right? He wants to save himself, I think that's a part of human nature. When he is opening fire, killing so many people in Gaza, this time in Iran, including more than 100 elementary school students, he won't think twice. Because that's just the part of human nature. But that's why we need a more civilization, more kind of like a less barbarian way of dealing with international. The most important thing is that because you are the sitting head of a state, by killing them, you effectively declared war. Okay, so that's the other point that I want to make is that there's a loophole in the New York Convention. The loophole means that they say that the head of a state or diplomats they are protected when they are visiting foreign countries, when their feet is on the foreign soils. Okay, not when they're at home. So that's why American legal and the American Israel legal document, legal scholars, they're saying or not, they're just arguing that this time the supreme leader of Iran is killed inside this country, it's not when he's visiting. But most people still would think that because you'd have to, you are effectively declared law, declared war with the country by killing the head of state. So I think really it's a barbarian way of solving differences, treating the enemies. I really that's why, and even by UN charters, you by killing, it's basically this is kind of the sovereignty issues. If you kill the head of a state of in another country, you are violating their sovereignty. That's why it's even punishable, even by UN charters, because UN charters prohibited you from doing that. But Trump doesn't give a damn. He just, I don't think he's running. He wants to run another term, and he's out of his time. He just, that's why I think he said that, I don't care what the poll shows. Basically, what can you do with me, right? I'm gonna be finish my term, and then I'm bye bye, and that's it. So, but that's not the civilized way of dealing with the state and foreign and international affairs. So let's stop here.